So think this through logically. She could resolve the standoff by midday on Monday. She could open the vault with the equity in and show it to the world. Here's where the equity is. Here's where she stashed it. I don't think the managing director can find it. We have got detectives on the case working out what this ignorant pig is talking about. But again, her language is synonymous with the Evergreen State College in 2017. So nobody's going to click the went on this bitch's behalf. John Cotton's, latest revolting gangster is going to be removed. We're hound this woman for antics for the rest of her days, along with Naylor as well. I want him found, please, quite promptly. The idea that a scumbag like that can slither out of Birmingham having collected his gold is absolutely nauseating. So if you can find him, please, drag him back by the scruff of his ear and have him explain what's his antics in 2020 were and what he's done to that city. But anyway, we've got all sorts of problems beyond Naylor at the moment, with the breaching of the borders. Again, because people in the modern world are a bit behind. I mean, you can mention Lebanon to people in Birmingham, but of course there was a bit of a reconquista last time to get that place back. It took them quite a long time in the medieval warfare sense, but in these days with the speed of travel, those sort of people can be right here quite quick. So if they smash up gravestones as they come into the continent, as soon as they come at me, I would quite like to be armed, thanks. So I'm quite glad we're here with various weapons. If any of these people who want to desecrate graves want to come to Edinburgh, they'll meet the sort of response that the McGraths would. So the good thing about Edinburgh is you still can oversee Birmingham. Again, satellite technology is quite good. You can observe the roiling nest of commies from space. But the benefit of being in sort of dark alleys here is you can vanish in plain sight. It's fairly obvious to anyone with a brain this is a Shop and Harry in paradise. You can vanish off various little side streets. Once you get into the city, the brain of my kin picks up the place, and you learn. Sped phones detected. This is how you find our kind wandering around in the open world. Makes it easier to not die out in terms of a species, but so we can shell Birmingham from space and find John Cotton's various sort of gangsters and crooks. So the entire city is now just a test lab, effectively. You don't actually need drones to do this stuff, so conventional warfare still works, conventional detective work, you can go into buildings and talk to people. What I'm suggesting is, because there's now a conduit between here and Birmingham, and because of the communications technology in the modern world, catching these criminals is now so easy, a child could do it. So the way this works, of course, it's the Emperor's New Clothes. A statement is made, and it relies on a theatre performance of people not passing the Ash conformity experiments. Whereas if you slow the interaction down in a James Randi-like sense, you can catch these people so easily. So Roni got caught in the Potemkin village gone wrong, because her court officers are not as dumb as she thinks they are, and she didn't actually appreciate having had her trip away to Manchester, perhaps, that if you are going to disrespect the McGraths, it's probably not going to go that well. So if the bloodline is concerned with death, so either preventing death on his side and probably creating a few on mine, we're not really going to play around with silly women who come to Birmingham and play these sort of games. If you try it, you're just going to get caught, love, and you're going to be removed. I'm quite happy to walk into a bastion of Crenshawist thought, with David Gilbourne's reputation riding on his literature. But we're not playing around with these kind of people. They're going to be removed. If you want a casus belli to start deporting people, this is a pretty good one. So I think possibly John Cotton, the managing director, may want to explain where they are in central Edinburgh, in a place which is the sort of people where people have been forced to stand by their word since the dawn of the Celts. Not quite, but since we came out of the mist. We took Edinburgh Castle, apparently. Stuck a wooden shack on it, was originally the fortification, and now we've got this thing on here and it's ours now. So if Birmingham is producing literature saying, we're going to cut your roots, you were never here, this is a casus belli to take that city back, remove various people from the department, prosecute them, and that includes everybody said nothing, and everybody in the city who said nothing. So if you went along with that, you're complicit in this absolute disgrace. Something like that being promoted to a child, someone who should be innocent, not be subjected to that kind of literature in a schoolroom certainly, or anywhere really, given the nature of it and its intent. But if that's being blasted across corporate communications, the people directly responsible will be removed straight away, and again the people who said nothing will be removed as well. In the Commie Bible, there's this concept of book burning, so the nasties come up and burn the books and all this is all naughty, but in this case we don't want to burn it, we want to point to this and say, if you went along with this, you are scum, so you're just evil, nobody's going to listen to you, you don't deserve your money, you deserve literally nothing. So I don't know what I would give up to get rid of the people who did that, but my own pension is out of the way, so I couldn't give a shit. If you're going to attack children, no. So we'll kick off in the managing director's face, tear her apart over a children's story, because that's what the graphs do. Don't want to do that? You're not big and tough enough to hang around with me or my sort of people. So piss off down south or come here and be apologetic, because in these streets it's not just me. I can vanish into the crowd and these people don't know me from Adam. But we've got a lot of professional connections now, serious people doing the FOI stuff, but also physical stuff in the real world. So people who come to this city and are dishonest can be dealt with in all sorts of interesting ways, and all of them totally legally. All along the way, we've obeyed the law. We have a casus belli in terms of serious misconduct policy, in terms of reporting things in Birmingham, because the actions of the Lord Mayor, various other people in the Labour administration, have created a dangerous situation for that city, for the country, and for Europe. So no, you didn't fight the war, I'm afraid, mate, for Britain. Britain fought the war to remain free from Hegelian Volk socialists, the Germans who went mad after the French Revolution because we just want to stay on our island and be left in peace. So from Monday, a further suggestion, if you can go and get police and sort of get a back and forth between here and Edinburgh, if I walked into the police station and was insistent enough, I'm sure the police officer would actually come out and engage properly, but because the one down the road is so dumb and dishonest, it's caused this ridiculous evidence chain failing between November and now. But eventually an adult at some capacity will come and talk to me, because I don't sort of murder people in the street. People aren't so terrified of me that they flee in horror, but the police do apparently. But if they can get over their fright and find a solicitor so we can go through witness statements and get the inference chain between my words and people going to jail, that would be appreciated. So we need to hurry up. I mean, I'm 43. If you can just hurry the fuck up and get that sorted out. And after that, I just need to knock women up on an island somewhere while the invasion happens. The money will be sorted out. I don't care. I'll sue my mother or whatever it takes to get that sorted out. But catch criminals, remove invaders, traitors before invaders, etc., etc., and just start getting these people dealt with so we can have proper security. And if I get murdered tomorrow, at least maybe my words could inspire other people to have not tolerate any more of this, look after their own children properly, and sort out the SNP in Scotland. So if we can start in earnest north of the border, please, the Restore people, that's actually going to Holyrood if we're going to use the damn thing, and start getting through their system. But what a time to be alive. I hope people in Europe are currently safe after this breakthrough. I hope these people are rounded up and swiftly deported. But I mean, von der Leyen has failed, and there's killing a casus belli to get rid of her. So if you do the, you do as we now say now, Frenchmen, or we'll nuke the tunnel. That gives us a firmer back. So again, we're just an island. Even with all the technology, we're still just an island. Still do border security. Don't believe us, try us. If you think about this, is currently dark and dystopian. Remember, it was in 2020 until now. It's getting better, but we've got a bit of a last push. I think we'll get some of these people into the prisons legitimately this time, and then we can start sorting this place out. But if you're not currently safe, I would recommend Edinburgh, because even down scary dark alleys, the people aren't generally too bad compared to the Brummies. So if you're in Birmingham, and the actual Batman isn't present, I mean, I would not be in that city without the presence of some kind of gigantic, terrifying spirit that watches over people to prevent them from harm by criminals. But since nobody of that exists in the city, you're probably safer up here.